Guys, so I'm this is a two-part today on two specific air raid shelters or former air raid shelters that were in Gravesend. This one is absolutely fascinating. Now, I did a video recently on hauling air raid shelter, and what I was trying to highlight was the fact that it was used for two dual purpose. Actually, originally it was a tramway system that was a tunnel, and then it got converted into an air raid shelter. Same thing underneath a railway bridge here that was actually used as an air raid shelter for the people of Gravesend in this very specific area. And it's really interesting. It would have held like about 40 plus people, and some of the wiring's still here, or some of the clippings for what probably would have been wiring for the actual bridge itself. And yeah, imagine that. So when the bombs were going off, that this would have held it. They reckon that there would have been some form of blast protection, which probably would have been in the form of sandbags. Actually, what they would have done was they would have built sandbags up to sort of protect them if there was any sort of like blast from a bomb that had gone off. But you can tell how well preserved it is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my torch out, and you guys can check it out for yourselves. So here we are. Although that's not really doing much, is it? So what they would have done was they would have chilled out in here as the bombs would have gone off. Very interesting. I reckon that the paint that's white on here, as you can see, would have been the original colour, and the reason for that was it would have stood out a little bit more for some extra bits of light if we were to actually see inside it. In fact, there's some cabling up there actually, finger of doom. So there you go, a hidden gem. You would have gone past it so many times and wouldn't even realise it, that this would have actually been used as an air raid shelter in World War II. So fascinating stuff. And from 1939 they reckon as well, so straight at the beginning of the World War II, when the bombs and everything were going off. Luftwaffe were invading as always, but fascinating. So it's actually an air raid shelter, believe it or not. It was kind of good time with the train going over the top actually, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, really amazing. So I'm going to take you to the second location in a minute, and you guys can check that one out, because that one's got an even better story to it. But there you go. Tunnel that was formerly used as an air raid shelter in World War II. Right guys, check later in location number 2. Bye. Right guys, so I'm at site number 2. Basically, what was really interesting about this was this very particular bridge was actually used as an air raid shelter underneath. Now it's quite wide, and actually what's really interesting about it is actually people were killed underneath this very bridge by German planes. Basically the story goes that they were trying to hide underneath here, and because the railway was actually a target for Luftwaffe, that they decided to start shooting at them. And yeah, they died. We don't know how many, but we just know that some people did die. Oh, another train, here we go. Proper bounced. Yeah, so you can imagine like these German planes just coming overhead and taking pot shots at anybody who was down there. Because the thing is, most people would use these types of areas and locations to use them as bomb shelters. So really interesting, but the fact that people actually killed here was really interesting. So it's proof that actually, you know, anybody would take any sort of advice just to hide underneath something, and obviously it sort of unfortunately didn't work out for them. But there you go. So the second air raid shelter in my mini video for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, this one's on the other side. It's near Northfleet in Gravesend. A few training for you guys. And so there you go. Yeah, interesting. It just proves that, like I said, anybody would use these types of places just as like bridges themselves, just to hide for shelter from German bombs, or Germans themselves, you know, when they're coming over in the aeroplanes and shooting stuff down. So, you know, we don't know how many people were killed down here. All we know is that people did die down here. So, sad but true story, I'm afraid. But there we go. So, I don't know how many people have walked across this bridge and not realised that actually people were actually using this as an air raid shelter back in the day. Yeah, defies belief, doesn't it? So yeah, your two uncouth air raid shelters for today, both in Gravesend, ones that you wouldn't normally associate, both railway associated. Like I said, one former tunnel, or a tunnel that was in use, a footpath that was accommodating over about 46 people, they reckon. And this one, where people would literally just climb underneath this bridge and just use it as protection. The problem is, obviously, if bombs went off, there was no sort of form of blast walls or protection, so shrapnel and everything else would have gone, you know, awry around here, and they would have got hurt quite badly. But there you go. Thank you so much always for tuning into my videos. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate the amount of likes that have been coming up and the positive comments. And here we go. So there's another video for you guys. There should be, I'm sure, loads more. And please check out the link below, which will talk about hauling air raid shelter, because it was the same principle, something that's been technically what you call recycled as an air raid shelter, something that you wouldn't use normally, but there was. So there you go. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care. Bye.